Hey, what's up everybody? You know, I did a video basically on the whole situation, sort of I guess you can say a response to RVD Tito for Life, and you know how everything with TNA seems to be, you know, being a rehashing and all that. Well, Tito for Life brought up a good point about something. He said that TNA and WWE were trying to make us fans, us wrestling fans, us marks if you will, us internet wrestling fans, or whatever you want to call us, look dumb. And when I think about it, he does have a point. You know, a good example of this would be that at a couple weeks ago at Hell in the Cell, we all figured that John Cena taking on Wade Barrett would mean the end of Nexus, because a lot of people are, you know, quite frankly, getting sick of Nexus. And a lot of people, I mean, there's a majority that are getting sick of it, and there's a majority that feels as though they just needed Cena to, you know, give them a boost and maybe hopefully do a heel turn and all that. But a majority was hoping that that would be the end of Nexus and Nexus could go their separate ways. That wasn't the case. Instead, what happened is that we ended up getting two potential new members interfering in the match, as well as we got Wade Barrett, because of that, beating John Cena. Now, from a wrestling fan's perspective, when you hear all the news reports that, you know, Nexus could be out of here, Nexus could be gone, Nexus could be done here and done there, and yet they still keep coming. Yes, it does seem like WWE is trying to make us look dumb. But here's the reason why. It's the same reason TNA pulled the stunt that they did 2 nights ago at Bound for Glory with Jeff Hardy being revealed as a heel and associating himself with Bischoff, Hogan, Abyss, Jarrett, and then last night, just a minor spoiler, Fortune. There's a reason for that. There's a reason WWE and TNA do this. It's because unless, in their minds, unless or until we, the wrestling fans, the ones that go on the internet, go to these sites like WrestlingNewsWorld.com, PWI Torch, NoDQ.com, the Wrestling Incorporated, and places like that, until we stop going there and reading all these reports that people that from inside the business or know the business, from inside the business or know the business, or from a wrestling fan's perspective, who's been from a wrestling fan perspective of somebody that's been a fan for years, to them, the only way they're going to stop making us look like idiots is if we stop going on these sites, right, and reading up on all these news items and rumors. Only then, I believe, in WWE and TNA's mind, will they stop with the throwing of the curveball and go exactly as we predict them they're going to go. That is when it'll stop, in my opinion. Is when we, in their minds, WWE and TNA's minds, stop going on these sites and try to predict, what's going to happen. You know, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny that a lot of people are talking about this ACTA law coming to be passed, or something like that. You know, basically where the government and the police and all that could go through your files. See, this is what places like WWE and TNA would hope for, because that way it would put fear into you so that you wouldn't go on these sites, so that you won't go and streamline or download bootlegged versions of the pay-per-views and have to spend the money or have to watch it on television. That's why people are not happy about this possible law being passed and going into effect, which I don't think it really will hurt anybody in the long run. But to me, that's what companies like WWE and TNA will hope happens, that if something like this comes into pass, people like us will be like, oh, we can't do this, or else we'll get in trouble. They're hoping for that. They're hoping for something like that to be a result, so that we have to watch those shows. We have to order the pay-per-views. We have to stop, in their minds, reading all these rumors and news reports. That's, in some people's minds, that's what this whole ACTA thing is, in their minds, could do. But overall, I know that probably didn't make any sense, but overall, like I was saying, the only reason WWE and TNA did what they've been doing what they've been doing is because they are sick and tired in their minds of us, the fans, who go on the internet and read spoilers, who go on the internet and read the results as they happen at live events or pay-per-views, or Raws and SmackDowns and Impacts, that download these pay-per-views, that read these news reports and rumors. To them, in their mindset, the only way they're going to stop making us look like jackasses is if we stop reading and doing all that kind of stuff. Only then will they go through with what was originally planned. I mean, take bragging rights, for example. There's 2 promotional posters out. One that has SmackDown superstars on one side, Raw superstars on the other, has the bragging rights name on top, and has an N on there for Nexus. But then there's another one with the Miz on there, and it just says bragging rights. I guarantee in their minds that if we weren't so predictable and saying, oh, John Cena's going to beat Wade Barrett at Hell in a Cell, and that's the end of Nexus. If we weren't so predictable about that, if we weren't guessing that and predicting that for months and weeks, in their minds, then that promotional poster that had the Nexus N on it, that would have been gone, and the one with the Miz would have come forward. But because we were so predictable in their minds, because we wanted to spoil ourselves, they decided, you know what? They want to spoil the endings. They want to spoil storylines. You know what? In turn, we're going to make them look like jackasses. So what do? They take that promotional poster for bragging rights that has the Nexus N on it. They bring that forward, and they put the poster, the bragging right poster with the Miz, on the back burner, all because we are too smart for them in guessing what they would have done, so that's why they do it. That's the throwing of the curveball. Same with TNA. TNA probably knew that we already figured out who they were, and probably figured out who we probably felt was going to be associated with them out of that triple threat match. They probably figured, hey, they probably know it's going to be Angle, or they probably know it's going to be Anderson. So what do? They throws the curveball and say, nope, it's going to be Hardy. And they do this because they want to make us look dumb. And in the fact that they're going to create this faction called NWE, which is TNA's version of NWO. Just because they're creating this faction, in TNA's mind, they say the fans come first. Yeah, the fans come first, but the thing is, if you're going to try to figure out what they're going to do, then they're going to say, you want to figure it, just like WWE, they're going to say, hey, you want to figure this out? Well, kiss our ass. This is what you get in return. You don't want NWO here, or an NWO-like group? Guess what? That's what you're going to get until you learn to stop predicting stuff. That, in their minds, is why they're doing it. That's why they're doing it. I mean, RVD Tito for life. You know this, especially. You have to agree with me on the fact that the only way they're going to stop making us look like jackasses and stop making wrestling look so predictable is if we, in their minds, stop going on the internet, stop reading these sites, stop going on sites and downloading the pay-per-views and stuff like that. Only then, if we stop doing that, will they probably start doing storylines and angles the way we want them to be done. That's probably when they're going to stop. But to me, that's why they're doing this. Because of what we've been doing. Because we read all this stuff. It's because we wait until the pay-per-view's over by a few hours and download it offsites or by torrent. That's why we wait a couple of hours and then download the television show by certain sites or torrents. They want us to stop doing all of this. Only then, in their minds, once we stop doing it, then they'll start doing things the way we hope they would. That's why RVD Tito for Life, they're making us look like idiots. They're making us look like dummies. They're making us look like jackasses. It's because to them, we are at fault. We are the reason this is happening. And until we, in their minds, stop doing everything that I mentioned, stop reading the news reports, or it's in the rumors, stop reading the results as they happen, stop reading the spoilers as they occur when people write them down, stop downloading the pay-per-view events and the live television events. Until we, in their minds, stop doing this, only then will they, WWE and TNA, go and do the storylines and angles the way we hope they get done. Only then will they do it. Until then, they're going to give us this crap because we, in their minds, are treating them like crap for doing what we're doing. I mean, ROH, you know, believe it or not, they're doing the smart thing. ROH is doing the smart thing because they know, the people in charge of ROH, they know if they get a national cable deal or national television deal, and they're on where just about every household could see them, without HD or not, with every household could see them, they know that if they got that, they might fall into the same trap. That's why they're not doing that. That's why they're on HDNet. That's why they're doing pay-per-views every 4 to 5 months. And that's why they're also doing them on the internet. Because they know if they follow in the same footsteps as WWE and TNA, they're going to fall into the same trap. And they're going to start doing the same things they do, because we'll start reading about some of the things they're doing. We'll start reading about the rumors and stories that they got going in the companies. And then they will start falling into the same trap. That's why Ring of Honor is, believe it or not, despite the fact that they're not seen by everybody, despite the fact that they have internet pay-per-views, that's why in a way they're the better product, wrestling and storyline wise, because they work it out. They stretch it out. They do it correctly. And they do it correctly, and also because the fact that they know that if they were to follow in the same, if they were to do the same things that TNA and WWE was to do, and that's get national cable deals, that's have live pay-per-views every month, they would be falling into the same category as both those companies. So right now, the only smart wrestling company to watch, whether you download it or whether you have HDNet and you can watch it, is Ring of Honor. That's the only smart choice right now. And there's other companies out there like Evolve and Dragon Gate that are coming up because they know that WWE and TNA are dropping the ball right now. They know that. And that's looking at this like, here's an opportunity for us to step up to the plate. Again, what I said is true, in my opinion, is the truth. The only way WWE and TNA in their minds, are going to stop making us fans look like assholes, jackasses, dumb shits, is if we stop downloading the pay-per-views, stop downloading the live television shows, or the tape television shows, stop reading the results as they happen, stop reading spoilers of shows that have yet to be aired, as well as stop reading the news and rumors and story reports of how certain things are going to go storyline and angle-wise or whatever. That's the only way in their minds they're going to start doing things the way we want them to do them. But that's just my thoughts on it. Tell me what you guys think. RVD Tito for Life, tell me what you think, and I'll talk to y'all later.